There is a revolution of men coming. Not what you think. To revolt against the government, to revolt against this, to revolt against that. Maybe, but that's not what I'm talking about. There's a revolution of guys coming. And some of them are already here, and some of them are in development. And this video is what, end of June 2025. You can go back and watch this video in a couple years and 5 years. There's guys starting to wake up to that there's so much more to a relationship. There's a revolution of the heart and revolution of the animal. Said differently, testicular fortitude. Said more simply, balls. And there's guys that have lived more in their balls, their animal, just their powerful side, and then disconnected from their heart, their emotions. And there's been guys that have lived in their heart or emotions and maybe drank too much ayahuasca, went to too many cacao ceremonies, hugging guys in the woods too much, and singing songs about spirituality. And a lot of times those two things have been separate, and there's a new type of man that's developing. And that type of guy is the type of guy I work with. And also it's the type of guy that sees a different value. Or sees, maybe at this time, some of you, the potential different value of what a relationship can mean. What it means to be with a woman. Think about this for a second. 150 years ago, let's say there was like a mental relationship vision, right? Do you know what a woman's relationship vision was 150 years ago? So what year would that be? You're gonna see how not that I'm not the best at math, but actually no, that's pretty easy. That would be 1875. And let's say America. It was, okay, maybe arranged, kind of. Your family, my family. She's young and fertile, so we think. Or she's a virgin in those times. I think that might have been a thing. I'd have to go back and do a quick history lesson. And he's a business owner, he's a politician, he's a farmer, he has money, he can keep her safe. So her thing was, well, this guy seems like a good man. He comes from a good family. He'll keep the family safe. He wants to have kids. I want to have kids. He has what do they call them back then? I guess it'd be like a plantation or a farm. Women didn't think about emotional availability. They didn't wonder if you were, what your attachment style was, and have you done any inner work, and are you avoidant, anxious, secure? Have you consciously clarified your values and what's most important to you in life? Have you went to see Joe Dispenza or Tony Robbins, or worked with plant medicine, or read this book, or have you, done CrossFit or Bikram yoga, or are you reading the latest book from Ben Greenfield or Dave Asprey? None of those things were on the list back then. It wasn't about spirituality, personal development, biohacking. It was a pretty simple time. Most of those things, if those were things on your list, they wouldn't have been on a woman's list 50 years ago. So gentlemen, we live in a time, and if you're a woman watching this will make a lot of sense now. We live in a time where you can really design what you want in a relationship. And also you get to choose. You get to choose with a different level of knowing yourself. You can brainstorm of what you wanted and think about it with ChatGPT and see the conflicts or how things could be better. There's men and women waking up. Not to get too mystical or new agey, but just being aware of something different and the potential for something better. I remember back to, when would this have been? I'm almost 40. So 13 years ago, I think, about that. Being at weddings and funerals and assuming I cracked the code because I made my first relationship vision, that I was just gonna ask people that were my family on both sides at weddings and funerals, hey, you've been married 23 years, so you figure this thing out, huh? Hey, you've been married 41 years, you figured this out. I quickly realized I was super wrong. I had some weird conversations. I just figured if you were together 41 years, you like cracked the code. I was definitely wrong. People didn't really pick that relationship at all based on options. Matter of fact, I had some awkward dinners at weddings and funerals at 27 years old. Now I'm 40, I have quite a bit different life experience of what I look for and who I ask questions to. As a guy, you can pick what you want. You can know who you are more than ever before. And one of the big things I want to say in today's message is you're not alone. You might think or feel you're the only guy that thinks like you think. Maybe because you're not spending time with people like you, or just one or two. Or we might be afraid sometimes to talk about it as guys. Because women will talk about this stuff left and right. They'll go to a relationship seminar or understanding men and post it on their social media and be proud they're learning and growing. Guys, there's a bit of secrecy. We don't want other people to know we don't understand women, even though most men and most women don't really understand women. It's a choice to join the revolution of your own heart, and also make sure you bring your head and your animal with you. Women don't just want your heart and your emotions, they want your fire, they want your passion, they want your balls, they want your intensity. As long as it comes through in a safe way most of the time. Or safe danger. More on that in another video. But we're in this great time where you can really create whatever you want. And as guys, what makes us attracted to women is not at all what makes them attracted to us. If we think we got to get in way better shape and have a six-pack to get women to like us, that probably won't work. Unless you live in micro niche cultures where how good you look on a beach is actually valued more. It's really how well do you know yourself? How competent are you? Do you know who you are? Do you know what you want? How many initiations, maybe one big one, maybe many little ones or big ones, have you put yourself through as a man? Starting a business, getting in shape so you can be healthier. You know, overcoming someone who died in your family, getting sick, you know, going through traumatic experiences and coming out on the other side healed, integrated, learning better. You live in such a unique time. You live in a time where there's going to be more men figuring out and waking up to this realization that they can be and create so much more. And there's some of you that are watching this now, maybe most of you, where you have enough self-awareness that you can look at the relationships around your family and most of your friends, and it's obvious enough that that doesn't work. That's not a great relationship. But they've been together 37 years. There's something different in you. There's going to be more of you figuring this out. There's going to be more of you figuring out there's such an absolute fucking power to having an aligned woman on your side. And you might go, well, I'm looking out to see how that power is, and I don't know. Because 95% of humans will never experience it. And the guys that are still stuck in the dead-end relationships, they don't have the courage, they don't have the balls to leave. And they're actually not loving, maybe this is you, I don't know. They're not loving the woman they're with, whether it's their girlfriend enough or wife enough, or loving themselves enough to actually walk away so she can have what really honors her and he can have what really honors him. Because it's scary. What if this is as good as it ever gets? What if someone's mad at me? What about the money? What if this? What if my mom doesn't talk to me for a year? Gentlemen, you're not alone. There's more men like you. There's more men coming. Is it going to be the majority? Absolutely not. Maybe one day. I love that reality, potential fantasy. Probably not. But there's going to be more and more. There's going to be more and more guys seeing the value, doing the work, and waking up and knowing there's something really unique and incredible to pursue. And it's worth not fucking around, dating around, wasting time, porn, Tinder, whatever. Not judging you. Ask me how I know. I've done all that shit. I've done more. Another video. You're not alone. You might go, Phil, you've said that like 5 or 6 times. I know. You're not alone. There's more guys like you coming. And the question is that I'll leave you with is, what kind of guy do you want to be? Because we all have parts, right? If you've watched this far, you have that part activated enough that you know what you want, you know it's worth it to go, God, I can build something different. I don't know what it is. Fuck. Something in me knows that I can build something different in a relationship, in a family. And what I recommend is almost completely ignore everyone who's not that, even if you see them once a week, once a month, 3 times a year for family stuff. Because it will confuse the hell out of you. You have to go, oh, that's nice. They're still doing that thing. The last 37 years, not to judge them, but that's not what I want. So I'll leave you with this. Which part of you do you want to listen to? Do you want to listen to the part that wants to get laid in the street, have a new age spiritual 3-way, start your new relationship constellation with 2 wives? If you know, you know. I'm not saying it's wrong. Not judging. I question the sustainability of it, if you get that joke about the relationship constellation. Do you want to be the guy that can't get off porn, can't get off Tinder when there's something deep inside him that maybe he can't put on his finger on, that he knows he's called for something more, a deeper sense of purpose? The purpose of why God, the universe, put him here, but also the purpose of he's supposed to be the guy that's going to create an amazing relationship that blows away 99% of relationships. And it scares the fuck out of him because he doesn't want to mess it up. He doesn't want to pick the wrong woman. If that's actually a thing, you got to make the right choice, right? Got to know yourself and know what to say yes to, and more importantly, know what to say no to. Because you're going to say no way more than you say yes. Ultimately, you say only one ultimate yes. So that's the idea, right? And that kind of guy saying yes to that kind of woman, creating a family, and I think the impact, I know, if you're that kind of guy, the impact goes so much bigger because it's building a legacy that builds something totally different that goes for generations. It doesn't just help you, your future wife, or maybe you're with her now or about to be soon, or about to break up with who you're with because you've been contemplating that for months, and your future kids. To know that that's really magnificent, something in you knows, but there's more than that. To know that you're gonna affect hundreds of years, maybe thousands, because you were the one that broke the chains and did something different with yourself as a man, as not just a dad, but a father, and a miraculous, incredible husband. So which part of you are you gonna put in charge? And which part of you is holding you back and sabotaging you? And the other question you can reflect on, you might not figure it out, another video. How do you make both? Which one of those parts is more important to listen to, more the essence of who you are? And also, the other part that feels like it's sabotaging you at times, how do you give that part what it wants as well? It's kind of the $1 million question. More on that on another video. Listen to your power, your balls, but also listen to your heart. Thanks for tuning in. See you soon, gents.